And then to wrap up our SEMIC 2023 conference, we are very honored to have another VIP taking the stage. Nadia Calviño is, of course, not a stranger around here. From 2014 to 2018, she was Director General in charge of budget for the European Commission. Prior to that, she also held senior management positions in the European Commission with responsibilities covering financial services, but also mergers and antitrust. She has received numerous awards, including, for instance, the Master of Digital Award, the Fernandez Latorre Journalism Prize, the Women's Leadership Award, and the Public Sector Lawyer of the Year. Since July 2021, Nadia Calviño has been the first Vice President and Spanish Minister for Economy and Digitalisation, and the entire SEMIC community is both honored and humbled that you have made yourself available to join us here today to deliver the closing speech. So may I invite all of you to give a deluge of clapping hands for the first Vice President of Spain, Ms. Nadia Calviño.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. I am absolutely delighted to join you here for three, maybe four main reasons. First of all, as I was coming this afternoon, I was thinking about why I was so excited and so motivated to join you today. First of all, because obviously digitalization has accelerated exponentially. It is one of the key levers for growth and prosperity today and in the future. And I am always thrilled that I can participate in events dealing with digitalization, because as the Secretary of State and the Secretary General know very well, it's very difficult for me to actually put the final part of my responsibility to shine. I always get questions about macroeconomic issues and fiscal rules and prices and all sorts of economic issues. And I think that digitalization is one key lever precisely driving our economy. So I am delighted to talk about these. Secondly, I am delighted to address such a qualified audience with highly respected experts present here, also online, and you are also opinion makers. So it's a great opportunity to listen and also to share some thoughts with you. Thirdly, because I think the modernization of public administration is a key driver of modernization of the whole economy. It has an engine for transformation. That is the way we see it, and I hope that today also with the representatives coming from our Secretary General for Digital Administration and the Secretary of State for Digitalization, you will have seen that we are very strongly committed to making the administration a driver for change, a driver for modernization. And then fourthly, let me join you in saying I am also a believer. I believe in interoperability, you know, and this is obviously a forum of believers. I am also a strong believer in standardization. Maybe we can devote an upcoming seminar to this other word, but all those that have worked with me here in Spain and also in the European Commission know very well how strongly I believe in joining efforts, in finding synergies and ensuring through standardization and interoperability that systems can work together as best as possible. And when we took office in 2018 and I came back to Spain, we had a very clear idea that digitalization was to be one of the key drivers for change. Actually, I was then appointed already Minister for the Economy and Digital Transformation of Spain. Then in the successive governments, this became the third Vice President, second Vice President, and now the first Vice President, which signals how important this policy was for us. But at the time in 2018, we had no idea that we were going to be confronted with the shock of the pandemic, which has accelerated exponentially this transformation, and that we would have the next generation EU recovery plan. And this massive investment and reform program has given us the necessary resources to undertake a very ambitious investment program that would never have become a reality without this support from the EU. Thanks to this ambition, we published in July 2020 already I am amazed every time I think in July 2020 we were in the midst of the pandemic and we published our digital strategy, the España Digital, which has a very clear roadmap to drive the transformation of infrastructures and technologies, economy and people, three-pronged strategy, which was then declined into 8 strategic plans having to do with connectivity, 5G, artificial intelligence, digitalization of public administration, digitalization of SMEs, digital skills, audiovisual, and cybersecurity. And then we decided to invest 20 billion euros of next generation EU funds into making these plans a reality. And we are on track to implement them, and the impact is starting to show. More than 220 projects have been launched to integrate artificial intelligence into industrial value chains. We are endorsing and supporting scientific research, R&D, through strong support, also chairs in leading universities to develop the talent that we need in Europe in this area, a network of excellence in artificial intelligence. We have some groundbreaking, unique projects like Quantum Spain for quantum computing, Spain Neurotech, neurotechnologies, the RETEC programs to develop networks in the different regions in our country, driving through artificial intelligence innovation in different sectors, from tourism, it has been mentioned here, to archaeology, and also the agri-food industry. We have launched 12 strategic projects of a national dimension with the recovery plan, each of which integrates digitalization as one of the key elements of these strategic projects, which go from electric and connected cars to high-precision health, digitalization of the water management cycle. And we have 2 strategic projects which are specifically linked to digital technologies. The PERTE is the acronym for strategic projects, PERTE Chip, for semiconductor and microelectronics, and the PERTE de la Lengua, which is encouraging the use of the Spanish language in this new digital economy, benefiting from the fact that there are 600 million persons around the world that are Spanish-speaking, providing an immense, incredible asset for these new knowledge technologies. I know the Secretary of State has already mentioned the Digital Toolkit program, which has a robot that is automating the process. So for the first time, those people asking for support to become more digital SMEs, they do not have to provide loads of paper and data. We can automatically search and verify all the information. We have launched 1,000 projects for the modernization of public administrations at national, regional, and also local level in Spain. The highlight and the star is Mi Carpeta Ciudadana, which is very much aligned with what Mario was talking about, how to access all administrative procedures with just one click from your mobile phone. We have a chief data officer, also bringing together information in the public and in the private sector. And we are establishing the first supervisory agency for artificial intelligence in A Coruña. Together with the European Commission, we have launched a sandbox, an artificial intelligence sandbox, which is a pre-regulatory sandbox because the regulation has not been adopted, but we want to already have a system in place to make sure that all the detailed rules get it right in terms of supporting innovation, but ensuring the protection of our rights and values. The Algorithmic Transparency Center is based here in Spain, in Sevilla, and we have published a Charter of Digital Rights to ensure that these new technologies follow and protect our European common values. And as I was saying, all these elements are starting to show. There are many data that are showing the structural transformation ongoing in Spain. Just to give you a number, people employed in the areas of R&D, science, digital, IT, has increased by the number of persons employed in this sector has increased by almost 50% since 2018. The weight of the digital economy in our economy is increasing. We have a current account surplus, which is not only due to tourism, it is to a greater extent due to the export of services, high value-added services, which are very directly linked to digitalization. So the structural change is ongoing. And that also explains why I think Spain is in a leading position as we approach the midway of the Spanish presidency of the EU Council. Closing the Artificial Intelligence Act is a top priority for us, and the Secretary of State, Carme Artigas, is devoting a lot of time every day and traveling to Brussels, to Luxembourg, all over the place to make sure that we close it under our presidency. This is the cornerstone of the new framework to harness the artificial intelligence revolution. Also, the eIDAS is a top priority. I think this is absolutely essential if we want to talk seriously about interoperability. Many have already mentioned the Green Pass, and this was, Europe was a standard setter in terms of technologies that were interoperable and allowed us to move around in a secure environment during the COVID. I think we have to continue to try to be standard setters throughout the world, as we did with GDPR, with data protection, also with the Green Pass, and we should continue when we're talking about interoperability. And I hope that in the upcoming high-level ministerial meeting that we will host in León on 23rd and 24th of October, so next week, we will also have a chance to discuss with all other ministers and representatives from the member states on how to drive these policies also in the upcoming European mandate to shape digitalization according to our common European rights and values. Many have said it, and I think in your previous intervention, it was very clear. They're magnificent, great examples of how these new technologies and artificial intelligence can work to the benefit of humanity. And we all have these examples in mind. But they can also bring out the worst of humanity, and they can improve medical surgery operations or environmental research. But we can also see how artificial intelligence can create fake news, false images, deep fakes, and at the end of the day, create an environment of mistrust, lack of information, and a worse functioning democracies, which is actually, I think, should be a top priority for all of us. You know, that technologies contribute to the better functioning of our democracies, particularly in today's world, marked by geostrategic challenges, a technological race, and increasing troubles, around the world and also inside Europe. But let me conclude with a message of confidence. The future is not written. It depends on what we do now. It depends on our actions today. And it is in our hands to decide whether artificial intelligence and new technologies are going to lead to the dystopian future that we see in so many series and so many films, or I am not naive to say the utopian future that we also have seen in some movies, but a better future for next generations. A future where we can preserve our rights and values, where we can encourage innovation, productivity, that we can create better jobs, and that we can continue to be as united as possible in our European Union, deepening our integration, deepening interoperability, and making all systems and our economic relationships contribute to a better world. This is my plea. This is what motivates us every day and what is driving us. It is what's driving us to make Spain one of the leading countries in these new technologies. And with events such as today's and your driving force for good, I am sure that we will succeed in this endeavor. Let me close here. Thank you very much, and my warmest congratulations for this excellent seminar. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, First Vice President Calviño, for those very pertinent closing statements. The take-home messages, also a very warm message of hope and confidence. So thanks a lot for closing our 2023 conference. With that, it does indeed bring us to the very end of what I believe was a very interesting and most inspiring SEMIC 2023 conference, which is where I would like to thank all of our keynote speakers and panel members. Of course, also the absolutely fabulous SEMIC team at DG Digit of the European Commission for throwing such a wonderful party here today. The Spanish Presidency of the Council of the European Union for their support to SEMIC 2023 and for jointly shaping an interoperable Europe in the age of AI. I would also like to acknowledge all those nameless hands and heads that have been joining forces over the past couple of months in shaping a smooth and a wonderful event. And of course, a big thank you to all of you for participating here today in Madrid, but also in the live stream, so for being with us today. For one, I have been Master of Ceremony for many other European conferences, but this has been my first SEMIC experience, and I can tell you, in all due honesty, you are by far the best audience I've had all day. Thank you so much. Also glad to add, as Frank already said in the panel, that we are delighted to bring SEMIC 2024 to my beautiful Belgium, so please mark your agendas for June 27th, 2024 in Brussels. And that leaves me with the final green or red question, and it's a simple one. So if you hand your cards for the very last time, and please answer in an honest way, are you ready to dance the flamenco during our cocktail reception? Green for yes, red for no. And I am looking at a primarily green room, so on behalf of the European Commission and the Spanish Presidency, I have the pleasure of inviting you for the reception next door. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you again.